Well, believe it or not, our week here at Russian River is already ending. It went fast. We're enjoying having brisk mornings and warm afternoons, so it's been really nice. So we're gonna have breakfast, and then we have a lot to do today. We have projects, lots of projects to work on.
Yeah, I've been messing with the e-bikes on the back. So we have that Hollywood Hitch, which works really great, but it blocks the license plate, which I did fix last time, and then it also blocks the tail lights. And I have to light up the license plate too. So to make it all legal and safe, that's the next project. And since it's getting like dark here at like 5 o'clock, it's just really affecting our ability to drive. So
we got to get it done.
Got to get fixed.
So Aaron has that. He has his work. I have my work. I'm going to do some food prep. I'm going to do maybe another load of laundry. I don't know. Today's crazy. I'm already stressed out, but it's a positive stress. We got a lot to do and try to get as caught up as possible because tomorrow we are heading down closer to San Francisco. We won't be there quite yet, but we're heading that direction.
Yeah, and don't forget about our workout we got to get in.
Oh yeah, our workout. We're going to get that in too. So.
Travel days can get hectic, so you got to get those workouts in while you're at your camp and while you got the time to do it.
Yes, so this is a typical day in an RV park for us, and a little bit beyond that because it's our wrap-up day, and wrap-up days get chaotic.
Well, here is our little campsite here in Cloverdale, California, and it's not a bad little site. It's kind of small, but we got a nice kind of secluded area where we get to look into the woods. We like to go to the campsites a little bit more in the winter time, just so we can run the heater if we need to. Except here in California, we're running the heater at night and the air conditioner during the day. So what I got going on today is the lights for the trailer hitch back there, or the bike rack. And if you haven't seen our video on these rad power bikes, check that out. We do kind of our first initial review on these things, and now I'm just trying to make them like safe and transport secure on the back. So I've tried 3 times to get different lights for the back and they don't work. So I think I got the setup today. Let me show it to you. So here's the game plan on the electrical. We're going to use a 4-way trailer plug that I cut off the other end, and we're going to plug this into I guess an adapter for the 7-way trailer in the back down to a 4-way trailer plug. We got some LED tail lights and brackets. Kind of a cheap set. It was like 30 bucks on Amazon. But there's not a lot of room back there, and it's kind of funny. Every RV that I see out there with bikes on the back, nobody moves their license plate. Very few people add extra lights onto it. They just throw the bikes on and go. So I'm surprised that that's not a bigger issue, you know, since blocking your license plate and tail lights and brake lights and all that is such a hazard. But so here's the tail lights. These things feel extremely cheap, but they do say that they're DOT approved. But how these work, it has a ground, and then it has a high power and a low power. So the low power will be hooked up into the tail light plug, the tail lights, and then the high power will be the brake lights and also the turn signal. So I forget which one's which, but I think between the green and the yellow, one's a left turn, one's a right turn. So we'll splice the one side into the one, the other side into the other, ground, power, and hopefully it all works. Oh, and then I also have these little LED bolt brackets for the license plate for light. But back to this rack. So this is the Hollywood, specifically built for e-bikes. It handles 80 pounds on each fat tire e-bike. And so I already remounted the license plate back here. You can see I just got a bracket and I put it onto one of these thumb screws. And what I need to do is light this thing up still. So that's what we're gonna do today. And then I'm gonna mount the two lights up here. We'll see what happens there, but that's about it. Otherwise, we are loving these bikes. Just being able to go into town and not have to pack everything up in the RV. We love it. These folding locks are pretty good. I actually got a heavy duty chain coming in that I can kind of mount to the RV. So it's a little bit easier to mount these instead of to the table because they get in the way quite a bit. Look at this thing. It's huge. A little extra security for the e-bikes. Or protection, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be so big, heavy. They make them like twice as long too. So we'll see. It's got this cool slip link, they call it, so it can slip around and kind of make like a long chain to tie up your bikes. And then this bike cover is pretty slick too. This is working out pretty well for both bikes while it's on the rack. Oh, and I got to get the grill out too for Chris. She's going to do some food prep.
That's right.
You unlock the doors. What are you going to cook today? Some chicken?
Chicken and rice. That's all we have on board. Yeah, so I'm just going to cook up some chicken. And I like to have the food ready while we leave. So travel days we have stuff.
Yeah.
I like to use rice is kind of a power sucker if you're cooking brown rice. I like to use the induction while we're plugged in. And I like to do dishes while we have water. So I'm gonna be taking advantage of the water, the induction, and also I like to clean that space out in the fridge and consolidate everything down before we take off because we will be hitting up a grocery store and I like to have a full fridge to work with. So if I just leave that stuff in there raw and taking up space, then I have less space to shop.
Yeah, and we're kind of bouncing around Thousand Trails parks here now that it's colder. Like I said, we like it for the power. It makes it a little bit easier than boondocking out somewhere. But also it's the most inexpensive way to camp in a campsite. It's crazy. Instead of paying, 30, 40, 50 bucks a night, these are all included in our annual membership, and it's just the cheapest way to do it.
So easy. And
yeah.
You know what? It takes the brain damage out.
It is. Yeah, we were just trying to figure out like 4 days out of the parks here, and
we're actually ready
struggling.
to like spend money, go to a different park, see some places that aren't available to see in our network of Thousand Trails. God, it's just torture for us to sit down and spend a few days
trying to plan it all out.
Yeah, and part of it is that we're trying to book like a week out in these super high desirable areas. Well, people book 6 months out for that stuff, so it's hard to get availability at places without spending $100 a night.
And we're not used to it either, and that's why we like the 1,000 Trails, because it's so simple just to book it the week before or week of or day of or anything like that, or change them around. It's just easy for us.
Yeah. So it's a fun experiment for us to try to get out there and do some different things, and trying to balance it all, trying to get everything done and put extra time towards research and bookings, and yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, let's get the black stone out of the back. And one thing that's tough is that this is not a swing away hitch. If you've seen those where it swings out so you can open your doors, it does fold down, but you can see the door hits like that. So it's enough for me to get my stuff out of there. It's not ideal. I still might look into this swing away, but we've only had this for 2 weeks now, so I don't want to go crazy and get all these things that I think I might need when this will work. But you've heard us always talk about not wanting to add length onto the back of our 22-foot van, but here we are. It's definitely worth it. I mean, it's something, the pros outweigh the cons on this a lot. So this little safety pin comes out like that, and then it folds down. So that's designed so that hatches can open up even more, but you see that our swinging doors still only open up that far. And so here we go. This is kind of the access that I can get into the back. It's enough to get everything out. Right now, we're not using our dumbbells. We're using the Irene Fitness bands that Chris is writing the blog articles for. And so those are working great because we don't have to lug these things in and out every time. So that's...
We keep those right up here now.
Easy access. But here's the Blackstone griddle, which I'm going to drag out. Socket set, a couple tool bags still. And we'll grab those because I'm going to need them for doing the electrical here on the hitch. The Battleborn's still chilling back there, looking good. Socket set. So Chris will dig into this Blackstone a little bit later, and I'm going to get this electrical project started. Is that a power tool? Dale, no power tools. Making some good progress here. So we got the tail lights both mounted to the bracket here. I just basically put them on this one already bolt that was built into this Hollywood rack. So easy, just like what I did with the license plate mount here. I just used this existing wing nut, and then I've never seen these before, but these are light up bolts for license plates, so you don't have to worry about this having a license plate light, which would have really been blocked by it. So looks pretty good so far. How was your run?
It was okay. It was good. It was really pleasant out. I got stopped to talk to some people, chatted with some friendly people. And then you texted me mid-run, you needed your package. So
Yep.
it turned into more of a walk, but that's okay. I
Yep.
hit my step goals one way or another.
It's a good park for running and walking.
It's a really good park. That's one of my make or breaks for a park is it good for walking? Because I hate little tiny parks with zero roadage.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Awesome. Well, I got these all wired up, Chris, if you want to turn on the lights.
I do.
It's kind of a mess back here. Wires were short on these lights. They couldn't connect to each other, so I kind of had to wire or crimp nut a few together. But I'll clean all that up. And otherwise, it wasn't that bad, but I think I have the flashing LED problem.
You have a problem?
Well, I read somewhere that LEDs, sometimes you got to have a little resistor or something like that to make them stop blinking. But what was weird, when we tested it earlier, it blinked and then it stopped. So I'm a little confused. This is just the lights on right now?
Yes.
Okay, you want to try like the brakes and the blinker and stuff?
Yes. I'll go do that.
Thank you. Frustrating. Yeah, they stopped for a second. That must have been the brakes. We'll help off to do some more research to see what's going on with those. It's such a pain in my butt. I can't get those the trailer lights to just easily work.
They're not working?
Well, they're flashing. So
And that's obviously not normal.
the first two lights we got worked with the brakes but didn't work with the tail lights, and the tail lights are the main ones that we need. And so that's why I switched to these where they'll do stop, turn, and tail.
That bird is really talkative.
I don't know what that is, but he's been
He's been chatting with you all morning.
chirping in my ear all morning. Might be a squirrel or something. No, it's a bird.
It's an evil squirrel.
Yeah, so, well, I'll clean up out here and we'll start the workout, I guess. Walking past those bikes are making me want to go for a little cruise. But we got work to do.
We have lots of work to be done.
Rumpus time is over.
It's grill time, the time we've all been waiting for. But it's really this is not really a food prep. This is just a small little grill up session. And it's only, I don't know, 4 pounds of chicken. That's about it. I'm skipping the rice because I don't need to do it. If we were going boondocking from here, then I would for sure, 1000%. But since we're going to another RV park, there's no need for me to do it. And honestly, I'd rather have the fridge space for vegetables. So I'll show you what I got. I have 1 plate that is kind of like my house seasoning for chicken. It's salt, pepper, cumin, and coriander. And then 1 plate that's plain. And let's see if I can grab all this and get this out there without spilling anything. Oh. Hi!
How's it going?
I'm trying not to drop things.
Do you need a hand?
Nope. I got 2 of them. Oh, I'm smoking. I am smoking. Now we smell like real RVers finally. Actually, yeah, I could use a hand. Okay. Not much to show here. I'm still learning my hot spots on the Blackstone. But overall, it's a great addition. And every time I am out here cooking, I just think to myself, all of this smoke and like residual cooking oils and stuff, it's just great to not have it in the van. I gotta go get that other plate.
Okay.
So this is, like I said, a really small day. Normally I would do like 3 times this amount, but It's a mini session. I like to have some of these plain so that I can incorporate them into some of my 10-minute stir fries, which we have a video on. Check that out if you want some tips on food prepping. This is it. But I love the grill. It gets us outside. We've been doing a really good job on getting outside lately.
California helps.
California. Yeah. So the Pacific Northwest is great. However, it was turning me into a hermit for sure. I think Aaron actually called me a hermit the other day. But we're working on it. A little sunshine's all you need. So we've gotten a lot of work done today. Look at Aaron's projects. He's just been like busy, busy, busy. I've been super productive on my laptop. I got a lot checked off my list, which brought my stress level down a lot. I was really stressed out the past couple days. And I think it's just because I know we're going to be hitting the road again and I have a lot to do in the next couple weeks. Are super, super busy for deadlines. So I'm feeling pretty good at this exact moment.